Board of Education to order. It is September 18th. We are here in the district office, and I just need to read. In accordance with Ohio Revised Code, notice is hereby given that a special meeting of the Southwest Licking Local Board of Education, or Southwest Licking Local School District Board of Education, Fairfield and Licking Counties is scheduled to be held on Thursday, September 18th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The special meeting will be held in the Southwest Licking School District Board Meeting Room 927B. This special meeting is a change in starting time of the September 18th, 2025 regular board meeting. The purpose of the meeting is for general purposes. I'd like to welcome everyone here and everyone watching at home. If you could all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Engel.
Here.
Mrs. Moore. Mrs. Spindler.
Here.
Mr. Ziny.
Here.
Mr. Vincent.
Here. Forum, we will continue public participation. Did anybody turn anything?
No, we had one scheduled beforehand, but nothing.
Okay, thank you. And now I need the motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Did she say we have one scheduled beforehand?
Like pre-scheduled on the agenda.
It's on the
It's
agenda.
already on the agenda.
Second.
Mr. Jones. Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Ziny.
Yes.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, the agenda has been approved. We will move on to presentations. German trip presentation by Ms. Kassler.
Hello. How are you? We are very excited to be here tonight. My name is Ms. Kassler. I teach German at the high school, and I brought these wonderful students with me. We have Nathan Shoemaker, Kyle Shirley, and Kyla Renz. We also have some staff members that chose to attend with us this summer and parents, but they wanted to tell you a little bit about the trip. But before we get started, I need to thank Dr. Perkins for your support of this trip, and Mrs. Ladowitz has been instrumental in making certain that these students are safe, healthy, and all come back, which is the ultimate goal. So, Mr. Cameron, if you could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So our trip was 10 days, 4 countries, and actually we wound up in 6 countries because we left out of Toronto, Canada, and we took a day trip to France. If you can go to the next slide, please. This is us departing from the airport in Toronto with our group and all our wonderful t-shirts. We chose the Alps as the design for the t-shirts this year because that was the main part of our trip, was being in the Alps, and it was stunning. It was a mix of German students and students not taking German and 2 staff members. Next slide, please. This was our itinerary. We flew into Vienna and flew out of Frankfurt, and it was magical. The little town that starts with a V, that's Vaduz, which is the capital of Liechtenstein. It's a very small country in the Alps, and there are, believe it or not, more than one city. There is more than one city in this country. All right, next slide. And this is Nathan.
All right. Hi, I'm Nathan Shoemaker, and so some of the things that we did when we were on our trip to Germany is we visited Mount Rigi. That was definitely my favorite part of the entire trip. I wish I had more photos I could put on one slide, but that's all that could fit. I thought it was really cool just being up on top of the mountain. It's 5,000 feet above ground. Obviously, I've never been up that high before. If I'm only from Ohio, so. And then another spot that was good to visit is Dachau. That's the first concentration camp ever. That one was in Germany. I thought it was just really interesting maybe to see a hand-on account of what was going through the Holocaust and what was happening. And I think it was just a really eye-opening experience to kind of see what they went through, and it made me feel a little bit more grateful for even the little things that I have in my life. The bottom left is a picture of the ovens at the Dachau camp, And then the picture on the top right is me sitting on a bench looking out into the view on top of Mount Rigi. Where do I stand now?
Hi, I'm Kyle Shirley. My favorite parts of the trip were definitely the architecture that we saw all around. The cathedrals were specifically my favorite part. In Vienna, Austria, we saw St. Stephen's Cathedral, which was the most interesting one to me. I thought it was very educational also because our tour guide was really invested in sharing facts and learning things to let us know about it. And we also went into what were those called?
Catacombs.
The catacombs. We went inside the catacombs and saw all the bones and all of the history of the building, which was really cool. Yeah, I thought it was a really eye-opening experience. I thought it was really interesting and like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The next slide, are you talking about Emma's? Nope, this is okay. Here, we'll do it. Next one. Sorry. This is just a picture of our big group. Wien Liebe means love of Vienna, and our shirts that say Watkins Wanderlust. Wanderlust means love of travel in German, and that's one thing I was definitely hoping to instill in these students. And I've already heard from several of them that they do intend to return, including some of the parents. We did meet up with a former exchange student to Watkins while we were in Vienna. We did the same thing last year when we were in Berlin. We met up with one of the exchange students to Watkins. I think the next slide is either yours or Emma's.
Do you want me to talk about Emma's?
Sure.
Okay, so Emma Schott is not here, but she enjoyed being exposed all to the new cultures, being able to try new foods, hear new music, and just see the way that others interacted with each other. Going on this trip allows kids to be exposed to new cultures, and in her opinion was just a really eye-opening experience to the diversity that this world has to offer, specifically in different European countries such as Austria, Germany, and Liechtenstein. And then what I enjoyed most about my trip to Europe was all the educational visits that we did, specifically visiting Dachau and going to the cathedral that was located in Vienna. For Dachau, it was a really eye-opening experience to me because it went way more in depth than I have been exposed to here in the United States. It really went in detail about all the things that happened during it. And then for the cathedral, it was very interesting to learn about the culture that was surrounding Vienna and Austria as a whole country, specifically regarding the cardinals located at the cathedral and their practices and all that type of stuff. It was just overall a very educational experience for me, and I honestly feel like I was changed after going to that trip.
I'll just say here, so it does look like we have a big group. We had 14 in our group, but we traveled with Olentangy, the original, is who we traveled with. So it was nice to be paired with a school from Ohio. That's the Heidelberg Castle in the background, and I'll give you two fun facts about that. Number one, my father was a professor at Heidelberg in Ohio for forever, so that castle has a special significance to me. The last time I was there with my father. And the other reason it has a significance, oh my goodness, what's the second reason it has a significance? Oh, because on one of my first trips, I was a very young teacher at Reynoldsburg, and I told Margit Thellman, who I knew very well, oh, I'm so nervous to travel, I don't want to travel. She said, come with me, we'll go with Watkins and Reynoldsburg together. So for 2 years, we did travel together. She took me under her wing. And so that is one of the last pictures I have is from Heidelberg with Margit Thellman. So I'm very happy to bring travel back to Watkins District and be here. And I think next slide should be our last one. If you would like to join us, we are going this year in June. It's a great trip this time. We're going to start in Berlin and go down into Switzerland. We're going to go inside a glacier. It is a STEM-oriented tour, so there'll be lots of hands-on experiences. Sorry, it's the end of the day and I'm not speaking well anymore. But yes, it's a lot of fun, and if you would like any more information on it, we have several people, actually students, that are doing the trip for the second time this year. So you're welcome to join us. We'll take all comers. Any questions for us or for the students? Yes?
Is it open to anybody?
Yeah, this one, because it's a STEM trip, everything will be in English. There were some parts that are in German. Nathan does not take German, but you were still fine. I take care of the students that don't have any German, so yes, you are more than welcome to join us.
And any age kid?
9th through 12th. They need to be in high school. They can't be any younger than 14.
So does the kid have to go for the parent to go?
Mrs. Gordon, would you like to answer this? Did you take any of your children?
I did not take any of my children. But I do want to add one thing. I don't think that people understand the commitment that it takes, the amount of work that Frau Kassler does, preparing these kids to go, even from just the culture to airport etiquette to how to go through customs. And then she's the first one up every morning. She's the last one to bed every night. Like, the amount of work that she puts into this is just phenomenal.
It truly is a joy, and it's really, like Kai said, it changed her life. Someone did this for me in high school, and this is my way of paying it back. I really like giving students an opportunity.
It's a really good trip. It's funny because the trip that you have on there is probably the trip that Margaret Feldman took me on in 1989. So that looks like my German trip actually was done again. So yeah, and it's truly an opportunity that was my first time out of the country, and I haven't done a couple times since, but it's an unbelievable experience for our kids. So we really appreciate.
That's always our goal.
Yeah, we really appreciate your willingness to do that. For
I'm
our
just
kids.
curious as to the former exchange student that you met up with. Because my son, a former student of yours, recently went to Germany to hang out with one of the former exchange students. You said that on this last trip.
So the last trip was, her name was Ella Schuster.
Okay.
And the one that she lives in a little town called Aalen up in northern Germany.
Yeah, he met up with Robbie.
No, I did
not sure.
know. We did not visit him. I
Okay.
know of him, but
Yeah.
I didn't see him. Thank you so much for your attention. And again,
Thank you.
Presentation, we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much.
Can we get a
Love
quick?
these updates.
Can we get a quick picture too, Frau? Can we get a quick picture and Teresa,
Yeah.
everybody who went? Tanya will get like all the kids and yeah, anybody who went. You know, if you guys could, wherever you want them, Tanya, tell them.
Okay.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, no, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's so awesome.
We're facing this way. You know that in the background, right? We're holding on. It is.
Am I far enough over?
Just a little bit more candy. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
I played football for Wade.
Did you really?
1970.
What position?
Defensive halfback.
That's actually really cool.
All right, guys, thank you. Next, we'd like to welcome Pataskala South Fork. First time I've been able to say that, but welcome you guys up to the podium to hear about the continuous improvement plan.
All right, thanks for having me. So just going to talk in order about our strategies for our continuous improvement plan. So we'll start with student learning. So professional development has been something the district consistently prioritizes when it comes to best practices in literacy instruction and the use of data to inform instructional planning. So as a building, we take a grade level approach to looking at student data, which allows teachers to have open communication and collaboration about instructional strategies. Our building currently has 4 staff members who are OG certified, and we have 4 going through training this year. We've created an instructional strategies committee who will provide quarterly newsletters for staff on best practices. And for the second strategy, out of all of our action steps, I feel our building has made the most progress in the area of using Acadians and diagnostic assessments to determine instructional gaps and close achievement gaps. We use these reports throughout the year to provide targeted intervention for students who are not yet at benchmark. Building a master schedule is a big undertaking, but luckily our assistant principal, Mrs. Poe, has a really big brain. And she, when she works on our schedule allows our primary literacy specialists and paraprofessionals to serve 35 groups of students throughout the day, which is incredible. This is in addition to their Tier 1 instruction. So a lot of kids are getting interventions. These groups are formed directly from the data mentioned above, and we're seeing gaps close in real time, particularly at the K and 1 level, which is critical to address before reading gets a bit more challenging in 2nd and 3rd grade. For strategy 3, last year as part of our staff meetings, we got together in vertically aligned grade levels to dig into 3rd grade OST assessments. And this was pretty eye-opening for our grades teachers in grades K to 2 to see what's expected of our 3rd graders on these tests. They are difficult assessments. So these groups had meaningful conversations about vocabulary, writing, and reading comprehension strategies. And this is something that will continue this year to ensure vertical alignment among grade levels. So next, student experience, thank you. Okay, so we continue to provide students with exposure to diverse experiences to increase background knowledge and communicate these opportunities with families. This year, we've created 3 teacher-led committees. We hope we will contribute to student experiences. So we have school-wide celebrations, community engagement and support, and inclusion and cultural awareness. So the goal for each committee is to produce 1 quarterly product or event to support student experiences. For strategy 2, action steps, our PBIS team continues to administer the tiered fidelity inventory annually and uses this to provide professional development opportunities for our staff. So last year we focused on trauma-informed practices. Our PBIS team meets for the first time this month, and we'll create a focus area for this year. I also wanted to recognize that this summer free PACS training was offered for all teachers interested, all the elementaries. In South Fork, we had 13 staff members take advantage of that opportunity on their own time during the summer. And so I appreciated it was both new and veteran teachers' commitment to implementing district and building level PBIS practices. And thank you to the district for providing that opportunity. And then for the last one, student attendance is always and continues to be a focus. We're continuing our Attendance Matters days as a strategy to encourage regular attendance and also have conversations with families about the importance of regular attendance. And I think we say this every year, but I can't say enough about Sev and the work that he does for not only my building, but the district. He plays a critical role in bridging communication and working with students and families on attendance. And then, of course, we continue to offer wraparound services and are fortunate to have the support of district social workers, NIAP, and our school counselor to work with families on meeting a wide range of needs. And then lastly, just this week, school report cards were released. So I'll just briefly talk about our scores. So we earned 3 stars on early literacy and achievement, a 5 on gap closing, and earned an overall rating of 4, exceeding state standards. So I continue to be proud of the work my staff does. I consider them superheroes, the work that they do every day, and consider myself lucky to be part of a dedicated team whose focus is always doing its best for kids. So I would be happy to answer any questions you have. None?
No. How are you enjoying the new place?
Oh, it is, it's fantastic.
I bet.
Yeah, it's very, very nice, so.
Good.
Yeah, stop on over, we'll give you a tour.
Yep.
Yep. All right, thank you.
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Thank you. Okay, and now we'd like to welcome Watkins Memorial High School.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm happy for the opportunity to present an overview of Watkins Memorial High School's continuous improvement plan. Our plan aligns with the building theme, Build the Future, which focuses on academic excellence, the student experience, and staff collaboration to ensure success for all students. First of all, as you know, school report cards were released earlier this week. We've had these data for some time, and it is the driver of our work. The fall 2025 report card shows a 4.5-star overall rating, indicating that we have exceeded state standards. In the areas of achievement and graduation rate, we earned 4 stars. Achievement data reflects state test proficiency rates at least 8% above state averages in Algebra 1, Geometry, Biology, U.S. History, and Government. In addition, Algebra 1 scores have rebounded above pre-pandemic levels. Progress and gap closing both earned 5 stars. Our progress rating indicates that we exceeded student growth expectations by a significant margin. College career, workforce, and military readiness earned a 1 star, clearly setting a priority for growth. This one hurts my heart a little bit. But before I dig into how we're going to address this area, I do want to highlight what is going well in this area. AP achievements include gains in calculus, language, literature, and Spanish, with average AP scores above the national averages. Students earning scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams rose from 12 students to 28 students, or 7.4% of the graduating class, which puts us in the top 20% in the state. class of 2024 highlights include 17.6% of graduates earning honors diplomas, which is nearly double the class of 2023, and over 1,700 semester hours were earned, equivalent to roughly $950,000 in tuition savings. Over 18% of graduates earned college credit plus credits, which I think is a tremendous accomplishment for our students. While this is the first year that college career workforce and military readiness data is officially part of the report card, the data has been tracked for several years. We have improved our college career workforce military readiness percentage by 10% since 2022, and a number of measures are already in place to increase the pace of our improvement. Teachers are embedding college career workforce military readiness initiatives into their routine classroom activities, and we're using School Links as a platform for lesson delivery, career exploration, documentation of work-based learning and community service, and college applications. Teachers also continue to be intentional in scheduling guest speakers from a wide range of careers to meet with their classes, highlighting pathways to high-demand career opportunities. For example, Mrs. Bustler and Mr. Alexander's senior English classes today met with a senior recruiter from a local construction company. There, they learned the value of careers in the trades, how careers can progress from apprentice to journeyman to supervisor and manager, and the potential appeals of skilled trade professions. Thanks to the foresight of Dr. Perkins, Mr. Tanchevsky, and our collaboration with CTEC, we opened a new multi-skilled trades program in our building this year. Students in the program take 2 double-block courses working towards 12-point industry-recognized credentials encompassing construction, electrical, HVAC, and plumbing technologies. We also have a semester-long Intro to Skilled Trades course available for students who might be interested in pursuing a career in the skilled trades, but also for students who wish to pick up some of those basic life skills, including safety, construction, hand and power tool operation, blueprint reading, and materials handling. This pathway is a tremendous opportunity for students to get a head start on high-demand careers. We have set a goal that every student will work toward and earn the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness Seal by graduation. We're rolling this out to upperclassmen in October and freshmen and sophomores in the winter. The OMJ seal requires that students demonstrate proficiency in professional skills, which happen to be life skills as well, in 14 different areas, including work ethic, punctuality, teamwork and collaboration, oral and written communication, and career management. Students demonstrate these skills across at least 2 settings, including school, work, and the community. And we are excited to see students begin their work toward and achieve this goal over their high school careers. A component of college career workforce and military readiness that has seen a decline since 2022 is remediation-free ACT scores. This measure directly impacts our college-bound students, as remediation-free ACT scores mean that students can jump right into credit-bearing graduation pathway math and English courses in college, which ultimately results in a cost savings and helps them stay on track to graduate on time. One of our school improvement subcommittees is targeting this issue. You will see the impact of their work, for example, in ELA 3 courses where students are working on grammar, usage, and mechanics. You may also see evidence of this work in math classes where warm-ups may include practice ACT questions. And we are very excited to launch an ACT prep course during the school day for seniors who may be taking the ACT one more time, and will expand the offering to juniors later in the semester as they prepare for the February ACT. School counselors are actively monitoring student engagement and completion of activities in School Links, which we believe will help us provide a cleaner picture of our students' experiences and readiness. This data is shared routinely with the admin team so that we can look for patterns and problem solve any issues. Finally, we are pleased to welcome back Ellen Nixon, a career counselor from CTEC. Ellen joins us twice a week and manages a caseload of 34 students, mostly seniors, and she's ready to expand to include additional juniors. Ellen helps students assess their interests, strengths, and goals, explore career pathways, connect with local businesses and trade programs, overcome transportation barriers, and build interviewing skills. This is a fantastic service that we're able to provide students at no cost. Our school improvement work is organized through staff subcommittees aligned with key themes: student and staff engagement, attendance, student behavior support, multi-tiered systems of supports or MTSS, college, career, workforce, and military readiness, and graduation and diploma seals. These subcommittees use staff meeting time for collaboration that connects directly with our improvement goals. They've already each identified 3 issues or initiatives on which to focus during first semester, as well as at least 1 action step for each initiative. And they have identified additional data or resources they need from the admin team in order to move forward. You can go ahead and switch to the next slide there. For the student experience, we will continue to expand opportunities for students in extra and co-curricular activities to foster connection and growth beyond academics. For example, we are in the early stages of planning for Key Club, which is a student-led group that focuses on leadership and community service. We are also in the logistical planning stages and almost ready to launch a trunk or treat hosted by our student organizations for students in grades K through 5. We will fully implement our positive behavior interventions and support system to promote positive student behavior and reduce office referrals. We will continue to recognize positive attendance, performance, and behavior through programs like the Ultimate Warrior Cards. Our students in the work-study program, with guidance and support from one of our paraprofessionals, are a vital part of the Ultimate Warrior process as they manage Ultimate Warrior ticket punches as students cash them in for rewards. Work-study students also work closely with our work-study and library paraprofessionals to create announcements to highlight how to earn Ultimate Warrior cards and the details of upcoming rewards. Popular rewards so far this year have included popcorn, open gym on Fridays, and Tom's Coffee Truck on Wednesdays. We are consistently monitoring the progress in all of these improvement areas, and all staff are involved in the process. Multiple teams, including teachers, counselors, secretaries, and administrators, collaborate to analyze academic, behavior, attendance, MTSS, and student need data to inform interventions and improvements. By looking at the data each week, we are able to adjust quickly. For example, you may have noticed in a recent edition of The Warrior Way, our family newsletter, that our attendance secretary has noticed that many students were arriving tardy to school carrying very fancy coffee drinks. We've brought that to the attention of our families and students, and we're working with our office staff, food service staff, and teachers to devise ways to remove the Starbucks line as a barrier to getting to school on time. In summary, our work at the high school is focused on improving academic outcomes, enhancing student engagement, and preparing all students for success beyond high school. Speaking of student success, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Connor Black, Camden Clear, and Tanner Yarnovec on their designation as commended students by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation. These gentlemen are among the top 50,000 students in the United States who took the PSAT last year. We are so proud of their accomplishments. I thank the board for your continued support as we build the future together. And at this time, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
So you said the percentage of kids that are remediation free for college from the ACT is what? I know I'm asking you this on
okay.
I was just listening. Was
13.8%.
13.8%? That's what the state reports.
Yes.
However, we have a ton of kids who are doing CCP classes, which are college classes in our schools and receiving college credit and are doing so successfully, correct?
That is correct.
And that percentage is much higher, I would think, than 13.3% because we have several sections of these college classes.
Over 17% of the graduating class earned college credits.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
So I just find it funny that that's a measure that the state uses, but the reality on the ground is completely different. And I think when people start looking at test scores and talking about test scores, they need to look at the measures the state is giving. Because if you just heard that, you would think that 80-some% are not ready for college when we have a significant number that are going. And that is just infuriating to me that the state puts that out there as if it's fact, and it's not, because our kids are being successful in CCP, and our kids that are have moved on to college are being successful.
And you're right. We have lots of kids who are taking college college classes on the college campuses, online through at the college, actual college campuses, but then also within our building. We are offering College Credit Plus courses taught by our credentialed teachers through Columbus State, Shawnee State, the University of Cincinnati, in areas such as English, math, science, art, and computer science. We are incredibly proud of the work our students and staff are doing. So thank you for recognizing
And
that.
I can't speak for the entire board, but I'm speaking for me right now. I'm proud of you guys too, and I thank you for all your work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're with them on that. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We are now going to move on to request to speak. So I'd like to invite Betsy Looney to come up, request to speak regarding LifeWise Academy.
Yeah, and actually, I want to clarify that because I said LifeWise in my email, but I'm really not focused on LifeWise. That's just, you know, whoever's coming into it. It's really about the policy that we have as the board. So
Okay, so
I don't know if we can amend
it's
that.
still overarching.
Yeah.
The topic
Yeah.
is
I
LifeWise.
specifically don't have concerns with a
Okay,
religious
no,
program.
you can,
Yeah.
you'll have 5 minutes.
Yes.
I just need your name, your address, and, I'm sorry.
I was just Mr. Jones.
Yep. Let you know when there's about a minute left.
Yeah, and he will let you know when you have a minute
There's
left.
a running clock I got.
There is for request to
one
speak.
too,
Wait,
Yeah.
They didn't have to have a running clock?
No, because they were under presentations. They,
All right.
at the pleasure of the board, they came to present.
Yes, I understand.
Request speaks different. So,
Thank you.
I will tell him when to start the clock. I just need your name, address, and then your overarching topic is LifeWise. And
Yes.
welcome, and your 5 minutes can start now.
Okay, so my name is Betsy Looney, and I'm at 611 Pack Street in Pataskla. So I am a parent in the community. I'm also a community member. I'm a longtime resident here, so just want to give you guys a little bit of background about myself. And I've had great experiences with our schools over those years. Right now, I do have one elementary age child. And I want to continue, I want him to continue here all the way through high school, see him graduate, walk down that aisle, just like everyone wants to see, and get their diploma. And in my opinion, I feel like there might be some gaps in the release time for religious education policy that you guys put together. So, just to, in my mind, I think we could uplift it a little bit, and I hope you guys are open to the suggestions and working with me. I don't know, I've never worked with a school board before, and I've never presented at a school board, so I'm looking for your guys' guidance, and hopefully we can connect after the fact and really make some progress. I know that there's a lot of things that I'm sure all of us could debate about, but I think wholeheartedly we could agree that when it comes to our kids, safety and transparency are high priorities. And for me, it's really important to have some oversight, some accountability, really just baked into the policy so that there are no gray areas when a public school is working with a private company or organization outside of our building. So I'm going to give you kind of a list of some questions, some things that are rattling around in my head that I assume others have been thinking, but we'll go down that path later. So the first thing, when it comes to going off campus, that's probably my biggest concern is just taking the kids off campus. So I want to know about safety measures, procedures, all of those things that I feel like aren't as transparent, and maybe I just don't know at this point. So some questions are, who's deciding what that off-site location is going to be, or has been, because I think LifeWise has been in for like a year or so, and at what point can that location change, right? Do we have triggers where there's maybe a building disruption, that agreed upon building is no longer in use? When do those things change? What type of notification is required in those instances? And to whom, right? Who's getting notified? Also, do volunteers or staff have to agree to any type of code of conduct while they're with our students outside of the school? And then who's also monitoring that compliance of any of these things? It's kind of an overarching question. Who's monitoring compliance? And then speaking of compliance, are we expecting that an outside group would be self-reporting? And do we feel that there would be incentive for this outside group, any outside group that we work with, to self-report on their own staff? Who's responsible for the volunteers that we don't directly oversee when they're off-site? And one question I have, and I'm not a lawyer, but I read through the permission slip that specifically LifeWise has, and I didn't understand really if that was something that LifeWise only created. Is the board involved with that permission slip, the legalese in there? Has anyone from the board or our board lawyers reviewed those types of things? I just need to kind of have a little, I need the warm and fuzzies, and I need to find out that information. So that's all having to do with the off-site stuff. The background checks, I will say, 43 seconds. Background checks, I love that you guys have the BCI and FBI, but what are we doing as transparency to know exactly who those people are? Because not everything shows up, right? If someone's maybe just charged with a crime, or maybe someone has, a certain reputation that we may not want to put our children with someone like that. Is anybody required to be CPR or first aid certified? What are the consequences of violations of these programs or any of the policies that we have? What are we doing to support teachers and staff who are the people who would be in the best position to be able to identify any potential problems? What questions do you have?
So generally what happens with presentations for the board, you present, we are bound by our agenda, and that's not an agenda item tonight, so we can't publicly discuss that. That's part of the legalese that you were talking about. However, what your job was tonight was to bring it in your questions to the board's attention. Correct. So you have now done that. So what I'd like for you to do then is to please email me, jvincent@laca.org.
Got
it. And we'll be happy to get with you. Representatives from the district will be happy to get with you and answer your questions. I will tell you a lot of what you've asked has come up. I'm not expecting you to go back and watch our board minutes for the last 2 years, but a lot of those questions have come up. A lot of where we are also is bound by state legislature and what they have been putting in place as well. So there's a lot of moving parts here, but you have a lot of valid questions that I'd like for you to email me. And I will either email you back, or I will have district representation and administration talk to you about that.
I appreciate that.
And I appreciate you coming up. I know it's not easy to come talk to a public body.
It's not.
And it was your first time, and you did a good job. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I won't drop it again, I promise.
Teamsters, Southwest Licking Education Association. Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to approval of minutes for August and September.
For the second month in a row, you have forgotten Rich.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's kind of funny.
I do too.
Wait, no, I didn't.
No, we didn't. Minutes
No, I
first.
didn't.
Then
Oh, I'm
He's
sorry.
for-
I thought
That's not as funny. Could you forget Rick? I mean,
yeah, she's okay with that. Yes, yes.
I skipped the minutes.
Motion to approve 4A and B.
Okay, any discussion? Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mr. Ziny,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, those are approved. We will now move on to Rick.
Sorry.
Motion to approve the financial,
Consent calendar.
or financial report.
Second.
Mr. Jones?
Included on the agenda is the executive summary for the month ended August 31st. Fairly routine month. We did receive our final property tax settlements the first half of the school year. They were about 2.5% higher than last year. But part of that also included, we lost a there was a refund of our tangible personal property, our public utility, of about $126,000 because of change in valuations for the PUP, or public utility. So that hurt a little bit, but overall it was a fairly routine month. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have.
No, I think we're good. We had a dinner last night, and I thought it was interesting that even though these are numbers, it seems like the state still may be entertaining a discussion on vetoing some of the stuff that came out of the budget the last time, which was kind of concerning, especially considering these numbers. But, it is the beginning of our fiscal year, and we will just see what happens. But thank you.
I see that the state sources for August are 8.1% lower. Were we surprised by that, or is that what we were anticipating based on the changes?
Yeah, it's where I expected us to be based on the changes, because our property valuation was basically brought on the school foundation formula, but
So then that
the base costs were not updated. So expect that October everything will hit. So I'm expecting a bigger settlement in October, because it takes 90 days before the funding can kick in. So I'm not surprised. I still anticipate us getting what I have projected in the forecast.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel?
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler?
Yes.
Mr. Ziny?
Yes.
Mr. Vincent?
Yes, that is approved. We will now move on to the personnel consent calendar.
Motion 6A through K.
Second?
Any discussion there?
Not at this time.
Okay. Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Spindler?
Yes.
Mrs. Engel?
Yes.
Mr. Ziny?
Yes.
Mr. Vincent?
Yes, they are approved, and we will now move on to business items. I think we could take A and B together, and then C, it's just a discussion.
Motion to approve 7A and B.
Second.
And
So A is another resolution of practicality for transportation. Do you want to discuss B, Rick?
Yeah, so B is basically with our marching band going to London at the end of this calendar year, basically our school equipment's going with them. So we have to complete this limited power of attorney and reach out to a school attorney. They said I didn't necessarily have the power to do it without board approval. So basically the board's authorizing me to be able to complete this limited practice, to deal with transferring all the equipment over there.
I was just curious, why is that necessary? It just seemed kind of, I was going to ask you what.
I don't know. I mean, Mr. Davis just sent it to me. I assume it's something to do with the freight company, maybe trying to get through customs.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's the freight forwarder, and they have to get the equipment through customs, and since we own the equipment, we're the declared owner on the customs.
So I guess that then would prevent us from paying taxes or import taxes or something, since we already own it? I don't
know exactly how that'll work. There's, because all the imports and tariffs and things are all real.
I will say,
Flaky right now.
Yeah.
just, I don't know how many people are in the room really know this, but I did learn that the holiday concerts for the band will be earlier because they have to start shipping those instruments early in December, so they'll be there in time.
Wow. I guess I was naive. I just thought they would put them in the belly of the plane and take them with them. I guess that's not how it works.
No, I'm guessing it's big enough that they're gonna ship in a container.
You told me it should be a carry-on. Come on.
Right.
Tubas.
Tuba carry-on, yeah.
All right. Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel?
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler?
We did not discuss
He did that separate.
C.
This is A and B only.
Oh, I thought we were,
Yeah, sorry. You're fine.
yes.
Mr. Ziny?
Yes.
Mr. Vincent?
Yes, those are approved. We'll now move on to 7C, which it's just kind of a board discussion because we need to have it publicly. In prior years, the Mid-Ohio Classic, which is what our band does here at home, has this competition and they provide trophies. In the past, the board, not with public monies, but with our private monies, have purchased a trophy. And by private monies, I mean board members' own money. So I didn't know if the board wanted to sponsor a trophy again this year. It would be $50. And I would just pay for it, and then you guys could just reimburse me back if that was something you were interested in. And the sponsorship would be from the Southwest Licking Board of Education. So,
I do know that Deb Moore wants to participate as well.
okay, So that means it would be $10 a person. Would you like to do that?
That's fine. I already have one sponsored in my name, but I'm happy to join the board.
Perfect.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all the direction we needed for that. Thank you. And now we'll move on to agreements. I think we could take all of those.
Motion to approve 8A through D.
Second.
We can both do them. So the first one is a non-PEP agreement with the ESC for our students not attending here. The mid-state, we talked about that at a previous board meeting, I believe. That's the fixing. We've been trying to fix well, there's nothing broken with it, but we had a student, maybe two, Shannon could say, but break their arm, and so we're trying to make it safer so kids can't fall through the sides on the equipment. So this is purchasing the replacement piece to fix that crossing, so now kids wouldn't be able to come off on that side. Snackwell is to put a vending machine at the support service center. They've been asking for that for a little bit. So, and then our last one is for the ESC of Central Ohio for staff PD.
Okay. Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Ziny,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, those are all approved. We'll move on to the treasurer's items.
Motion to approve 9A through E and the donations with thank yous.
Second.
Try to run through these fairly quickly. So donations, again, we always appreciate those. Then and now certificates, we had a couple of timing issues with purchase orders and getting invoices in. So just trying to run through those. Statement of purposes, we do this fairly often, every board meeting at the beginning of school year for all activity accounts to get their original statement of purpose in so they can spend the money. D is our amended certificate. It's our budget, permanent appropriations for FY26. Obviously, this is about a month earlier than we used to, and then next year we have to have it done before August 31st. Because the 5-year forecast has got to be done by August 31st next year and thereafter. So this will be moved in another month forward, So again, this is something we do every year. And then the 5-year, or let's call it a financial forecast now, it's 1 year plus 3 years. So it's a 4-year forecast, but now we're just calling it a financial forecast. Run through it quickly, but the biggest concern deals with line 6.010. That's basically how much revenue versus expenditures. So are you having more revenue than expenditures? Do you have a positive cash flow? Or do you have a negative cash flow? When it's negative, it's a negative cash flow, which means we're spending more money than we're taking in revenue, which is not a good thing. So this year we do have a negative cash flow of about $1.6 million. The majority, all of that reason is because we still have $3.1 million left over from construction that we haven't paid out yet. So if you pull that out, we're 1.5 to 2.5 million positive. But starting with FY27, it goes negative and it keeps going all the way to FY30, which is, this is a 5-year forecast, but a 4 because we still think it's valuable to have all 5 years. We will only submit 4 to ODE, but we want to show 5. By year 5, we're spending $8.4 million more per year than we're getting in revenue. Again, these are estimates. These are planning documents. The biggest thing to point out is school foundation. We know what we're getting this year, we're not as confident what we're getting next year, and then who knows 28, 29, 30, what the state legislature is going to do. So, in the forecast, we pretty much took it down, about $2 million next year, mainly because, again, property values will be hitting it with no increase in base cost. So, again, it's more focused on pushing the cost locally than the state. So, and then years, again, 28, 29, 30, we just basically flatlined it. We're going to be what's called a guaranteed school district, which means we can get less than what we received in 2021. The goal of the formula was so there are less guaranteed school districts, but if you don't update the formula completely or correctly, you get more school districts on base of the guarantee, which is not a good thing. So that's the one number I think can change that could help us. A little more conservative on income tax. For this year, I only put a 3.2 0.38% increase, mainly because the largest one came in lower than we expected. But we do have general increases throughout income tax. We do have increases in property tax. I did go a little easier, a little lower on the reevaluations. Basically, I think the state's going to do something. I just don't know what. I just don't see another 30% increase, and so, right now I have about 8.4% in there for each years that there's a reappraisal or triannual update, but it's something we're going to have to watch. All this is going to have to watch. The only thing I can promise you is that's 26 numbers. Staffing wise, that's, we're 80+% of our budget is staffing.
Right.
In talking to Dr. Perkins, we had in the past had 10 additional teachers in there. Well, we took it down to 5. We're still 8.4 negative, even by putting
Even
5
with it
on,
5.
even with reducing it by 5 teachers or reduced it by an aide. So it's something we really have to monitor. There are base costs. There's a base raise in there for next year. It's been negotiated 3%. I do have 2% in there for 28, 29, 30. That's something we'll have to see where our finances are at, if we can do that or not. But it's in there. If I take it down to 1.1%, it saves about $1.6 million on salaries. So, as always, I try to be conservative on the revenue. Hopefully revenue comes in higher, and conservative on expenditures. Hopefully expenditures come in lower, and it works out pretty well. But right now, reality isn't looking. We still have cash, but it's down to 1.7 million by end of 2030. We did transfer 30 million over. We are spending part of it. We have the ability to transfer some of that back, which is fine, but you can only do that for a year or two at that spending rate. So we do, part of board policy is when we start projecting a cash flow, a daily true cash flow of less than 30 days, Dr. Perkins and I have to get together and make suggestions to the board, and then within 2 years the board's supposed to make the potential deficit, make adjustments in either operating revenue or expenditures. So it's just something to keep in mind. I'm hoping school foundation comes in better. I originally had 15 million this year. It came in 18, so it did come in better. But I'm not confident legislators are going to keep doing the right things to help public school districts.
Well, their actions so far haven't helped much.
I think that it's pretty bold that we have no intention of supporting public school.
Yes. So basically, be aware of it. It's a planning document. It's accurate as of today. It could change tomorrow. We just have to keep an eye on things and then look at it year by year and see how it changes or if it does change. But is there any specific questions about the forecast that you may have? It's that, and Dr. Perkins is very involved in it. She knows where we're at. She knows what we got to talk about, what we're going to do. So we've been talking about it. We'll continue to talk about it.
I appreciate the candid update. Anyone have any questions? Mr. Jones.
Mrs. Engel.
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler.
Yes.
Mr. Ziny.
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, those are approved. We'll move on to the superintendent's comments.
So I'm going to add one thing, then I'm going to talk about some positives. So one thing on the budget Rick's talking about, currently legislation is discussing the elimination of title funds. So in our district, Title I supports our literacy specialist as well as funding for teacher professional development, school safety. There's all sorts of things that come from those funding sources. So that's another thing. Obviously, we're not going to eliminate that staff, but that's something we would then have to absorb into the general fund if that comes through. So it's just another piece of all these unknown variables that we are watching and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So just wanted to put that in here. Now I'm going to say some positive things, some exciting things. Okay, so first, I want to piggyback on a couple of things that Melissa talked about on the report card, and since my principals are here. So overall, we have an excellent report card. We're 4 stars overall, 4 stars in progress, gap closing, achievement, graduation, all really awesome things and great work to celebrate. Pat and Kirk were both 4 stars, the high school and the WIS were 4.5. And to be celebrated, and I think a little round of applause, Etna Elementary, led last year by Susan and Travis, who are both here, was a 5-star building, the only one in the district. So I think that's a really big deal. So kudos to their leadership and then their staff as well, who made that happen. That's a huge accomplishment. So I wanted to share that piece. And again, overall, things are really good. The largest issue, like Melissa talked about, was that career and workforce readiness component. But it is new this year, and they have, her and Tan have been working and have great plans. So I'm feeling very confident that that's going to go
And
up.
that's not just an us thing.
No, that's
a
across
state-
the board.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep, so overall, super exciting. And then I did want to share, I'm not sure if the board's aware or not, but the baseball field behind Etna Elementary has been taken over by the Ohio Sting, which is not all of our kids, but it's a lot of our students. And so that organization has done a ton of work to that field, and they will now be, through donations and their own organization, putting in dugouts and a permanent batting cage. So it's really nice to see that our own kids have an additional place to play. If you know anything about youth baseball, there's never enough fields. Nope. And that one was sitting empty, it was dilapidated, it wasn't taken care of, and we weren't using it as a school. So it's really nice that they keep wanting to add to it and make it a really great space for a lot of our students. Another good thing, Tan and I were able to stop out at 5th grade camp today. A lot of, it's amazing, and I don't know how many years, Joe could probably say we've gone to our own camp now, but what those teachers do is truly incredible. How many years has it been, Joe? 5 years. I mean, if you ever have a chance some year or tomorrow if you have a little time, I mean, what they do is, it's pretty awesome for our kids. Lots and lots of happy faces. It's great to see not only the 5th grade students, but our high school students as camp counselors. So I saw a bunch of kids I knew today in that realm too. So also super exciting. And then I did want to share, I'm doing these again a little different this year. Do you want to pass these around for me, Roger, please? This is just the compass. I don't put it up because it has less pictures, more content, but it's focusing on some of the highlights of the grade card just to put some things out. I'll be sharing more over time, but if you give too much at one time, it's not, tend to overwhelm people. So, again, focusing on what I talked about the 4-star ratings, some of the good things that I shared last month about English language progress, our chronic absenteeism, and our PI, and then highlighting, again, that we're one of only 40 districts to have improved their PI in each of the last 4 years. So we have a lot of really great things going on here academically that we should celebrate and be very proud of. And, my last thing I wanted to share, obviously Walter, our high school mascot, has made his appearance, and the middle school kids voted. They named their mascot Waldo, and he also made his first appearance at middle school volleyball this week as well. So, and that is all I have. Unless you have things for me.
Thank you. Any questions for the superintendent? Okay, then I believe we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Jones?
Mrs. Engel,
Yes.
Mrs. Spindler,
Yes.
Mr. Zani,
Yes.
Mr. Vincent.
Yes, we are adjourned at 6 o'clock.